Hello, I'm just going to speak briefly about stress, resilience, and what's going on in Ukraine. So first, let's talk about what the brain is doing in a typical stable state. You have a lot of activity in the front of your brain in your executive network. Just a note that you need your whole brain to do anything, but there are networks, nodes, and hubs where more activity happens when you're doing certain things. So when you're kind of in a calm, alert state, you have a lot of activity in your prefrontal cortex. That's what PFC stands for. And it's regulating where you're putting your attention. You're able to kind of make decisions about that. But when you have an acute stress response, that changes. That activity leaves the frontal area of your brain and moves down to your amygdala, to your limbic system, those emotional response centers, where it's saying, uh-oh, do I have to do something to keep myself safe? Okay, so there's a physical change in where the activity is happening in our brain. So this means that when we have an acute stress response, we're not actually having a lot of access, the same amount of access to the frontal areas of our brain. Okay, that activity changes and our ability to access that area of the brain changes. Okay, so when you think about if you're having an acute stress response, maybe somebody corrects you and says you totally messed up or gives you scary news and you're like a little numb. Okay, what happens then? Can you think clearly in that moment to explain what's going on, right? Or to answer a question thoughtfully? A lot of times we give a knee-jerk response or we're reactive when we speak in those situations. It's not really the deep, thoughtful response that we'd like to give, okay?